Are you playing the music?
I am. You can't hear it?
No.
Of course it's gone wrong. Yeah.
Yes. Everything else was going right today. We had to have something go wrong. That's exactly right. All right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't hear nothing. This is just complete
Hang on.
silence.
Give me a second. I gotta find the button now.
Oh, okay.
Let me stop that.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the crazy chaos that is the Internet Dad Show. Something always goes wrong every single day. If it didn't, it wouldn't be the Internet Dad Show. So, good morning. Don't worry about the damn music.
Do you hear it now?
Yes.
All the answers you need to know. Watch now.
Kind of moot at this point, but whatever.
Subscribe quick, join in the fun. Deep State's Grid Monster on the run.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Internet. Thanks, Rumble. You remain the best, Rumble. And you know what? I complained about Restream for a long time too. But I mean, come on. Why is it like this? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm Jason. That's Deacon. We're Internet Dads. We meet here Monday through Friday to complain about shit. That's the truth. That's the true truth. We just complain about stuff. Are we having a positive impact on the world? I'm not sure. But since we started this show, Joe Biden stopped being president and we got Donald Trump elected. There's 2 points in history. You connect that line. I think you have to assume some causality. So we are having a positive benefit. It's true. I think it's maybe irrefutable even. And that's a big word. That's like 3 syllables. Irrefutable.
It makes sense.
Like 5 syllables.
I mean, it makes sense.
All right. Well, morning, y'all. There's a few things happening in the world. I think the Pope has had a critical cardiac event or respiratory event or something like that. He's in the hospital laid up. Not looking good for that man. But I'm also not Catholic. So, you know.
Which way is he going? Up or down?
I don't know. It's,
up or down?
Not really any of my business.
Which way are you going? Up or down?
He probably ought to really think about his relationship with Jesus.
Yeah, probably.
What do I know? I don't know anything. If Dave was here, maybe he would have an opinion.
Dave would definitely know a lot more about this than us. So, but I do. I am a person and I have an opinion, and
I stay in my lane.
I really don't care. I'm not Catholic.
I'm not going to look. Yeah, he's Catholic. You know what? He's not only Catholic, he's like the Catholic. He's like the most Catholic you can be, I believe, in the whole world right now.
What's up? Do good.
So, do good.
I hope everybody in Germany is doing good. I don't think I have any German stories today. I thought I had an English.
We got a little bit of a German story, although I don't have all the details. Apparently, the AfD party in Germany, Deke, I know you're very interested in this, has got I think the second amount of votes in the Bundesstaat. Correct me if I pronounce that incorrectly, Deacon. I mean, do good. Oh, of course, I said his name wrong. But that's the most votes that the AfD party has ever received in German history, as far as I'm aware. I don't know what their platform is, but that's what I know about Germany. So, Deke, do you know this about Germany? They have a bicameral parliament, so they have 2 bodies. One is called the Bundesstaat, I think. And the other is called something else that sounds similar, and I can't remember. And it's so similar to Bundesstaat that I can't remember the other word.
I love the German language. I posted in our general, it was like last week, I found this German word, and I was like, this is why the German language far excels the English language, because this word, and I'm going to mispronounce it, but it's Hodenkobold. Hodenkobold. And a Hodenkobold is a testicle goblin. I've never thought to call somebody as an insult a testicle goblin before, but that's so beautiful. I mean, Hodenkobold. So you're a Hodenkobold.
Bundesrat. So is it the Bundesrat and the Bundesrat? One has a T. Oh, Bundestag and Bundesrat. Germans. You guys are the best.
What's up, AVX? Nice to see
Hey,
you.
AVX. Good morning, sir. You know, I was telling him the other day, aren't you glad that you are now living in the golden age? Even though he did not vote for the team, we are bringing the golden age to him. And he's like, it's not really affected me yet. And I says to myself, I'm not going to argue with you, but
No,
how
it
do you
hasn't
like?
affected
How do
me,
you like?
but you're exactly right. It will.
How do you like not having those congestion fees in New York? So now because of Donald Trump, sir, you can go to New York and not have to pay those congestion fees for your Uber or your taxi. So he brought the real price of visiting New York down. Except, why would you want to go to New York?
It smells like piss and weed.
I'm just kidding with you, buddy.
I'm not. It smells like piss and weed.
Listen, there's a place for everybody, and for everybody, there's a place. So his place is
There
on the
was
East
garbage
Coast over there.
everywhere, and a weird LSD trip Elmo. It looked like Elmo, but it looked like Elmo after you're coming off a acid trip, and a naked person that JJ made me look at. I don't like New York.
Oh boy.
I got scammed by some rappers. No, I don't like this.
Listen, so AVX is a young man. I think he's in his early 20s, and you know, he's still starting out in life.
I'm just playing AVX. New York's
let me just say this.
Beautiful.
He's almost done with his electrical engineering school or something for the subway system, so he's gonna have like a better job,
dude.
But I'm gonna tell you, can I
That's
foretell
awesome.
his future? I'm gonna foretell his future as a young man.
Yeah.
So now, last I talked to him, he had a girlfriend. I hope he still has a girlfriend, but he's a young man, you know, making his way in this world, climbing up the rungs. He's establishing his relationship with his girlfriend, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Please tell me if I'm wrong. And she got rid of you. I don't believe she did. I believe she's with you still. So he's going to get married, and they're going to start their life, and then they're going to realize, holy shit, these taxes, and fuck this government. And eventually, now this is my prophecy here. I think he's going to be like, what if we moved out of this place and we started somewhere farther out there, and he got out of that urban area, farther out into the country. Maybe maybe they start raising a couple chickens, because egg prices are so high. Raise a couple chickens, maybe get a goat, and then they realize like the real world is far away from cities that are corrupt. I'm still corrupt. No, I'm still correct. So one day we're gonna pull him all the way over to the middle.
But that is to me, what I have noticed is that is almost a common life cycle of adults in this country. I started off at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 years old. I used to cuss Rush Limbaugh. Me, a radio guy, used to say, oh, he's stupid and blah, 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 because I was just parroting what I had heard. One of my fellow radio guys was talking to me about it. It's like, have you ever listened to Rush Limbaugh? And I was like, well, you know, I've heard clips. And he's like, so you've never listened to him then? I'm like, okay, you got me. I've never listened to him. I listened to Rush Limbaugh. Completely changed. But as I've gotten older, more things matter that didn't matter when I was 20 years old. When I was 20 years old, I really didn't pay attention to the fact that when I buy a car, I pay taxes. Every month, I pay taxes. Every time I buy a part for that car, I pay taxes. Every time I put gas in that car, I pay taxes. Every year I have to register that car, I pay taxes. I pay insurance on that has taxes. I pay taxes on my house that I bought and my land that I own every freaking year. Why should I? And all of that tax money that I pay just to own that car is being sent to Iraq for a Sesame Street program. And this is what I have a problem with. I would like to have the money to take my family on a vacation because I work very hard at this job and I'm always here, but I can't afford that because I'm paying for transgender operas in Norway or whatever. It's a tax on a tax on a tax. And when I was younger, I didn't really understand that until I've gotten kids. I've gotten my own property and I'm realizing I ain't got a damn dime in my pocket, but I live at this radio station. Why is that? That should not be. I work hard.
Yeah, you do. But I mean, like the old adage is you never get rich working for somebody else.
Do Good says you should get rid of the car. Too much taxes. Dude, you know Western Kentucky. Where am I going to go without a car? I guess I could get a horse.
I want to bore you for a little bit more about this German stuff. Let's see if you think anything about this. The AfD, Alternative für Deutschland, Alternative for Germany, is a political party that's become a significant and polarizing force in Germany politics for the last 13 years. It started as a Eurosceptic group born out of frustration with the Eurozone bailouts and the financial crisis, and appeals to conservatives and economists who felt Germany is footing too big of a bill. Doesn't that sound kind of like German MAGA a little bit?
Well,
why are we paying for stuff and involved with all these other people?
And you've got to put yourself in a German's shoes, because we are looking at it from our American point of view, and Germany is not America. So the German in 2025, for 100 years, the world has called them evil. You know, and has made fun of them and poked fun at them for 100 years. Do Good didn't have a damn thing to do with that.
Did not.
But he gets, he gets the rap, and he takes the rap, just like all Germans do.
Okay, and I would even agree with you, were it not for the fact that this very week I saw Germans on TV asked, "Is it illegal if you call somebody a name on the internet?" And they were like, "Yeah,
well, that's
very
true.
illegal." So, like, you guys have come a long way and still are fucking of everything. Yeah, you could just call somebody. What did you say? Testicle cancer, or what did you say?
Testicle goblin.
Testicle goblin. You can call someone a testicle goblin on the internet. It's fine.
Yeah,
nobody's gonna die from that.
I mean,
they
just
die from actual.
Do Good. I was kind of meaning, after World War I, the world just kind of picked up Germany and slapped him across the face 2 or 3 times like a child, and was like, "We're taking away all your toys, and you go to your room." It's basically what happened after World War I. So,
Do Good. Tell me, is it our AfD like kind of the equivalent of libertarian minded folks in the US? That is, why don't we mind our own business and
AVX
stop paying for everything? And
we'll change the subject.
I'm so glad AVX is here. Oh, he wants to know about AV wants to know about the possible 5K refund the government might give out.
I would not hold your breath on that.
No.
This is posturing, and this is moving a pawn over here and moving a knight over here, just like the other side does. This side is no different. This is posturing. But you brought up something, and I hadn't heard this, but you brought up last week that it has to hit a certain number before it will trigger that refund. If they've even said this even if they've even passed the refund, it's just in talks right now. And honestly, I think it would be a good idea, because that $5,000 is going to go to me. I'm going to recycle it back into my community, and it's going to keep getting recycled into my community. My community, my little small town, is going to have a lot of money coming into that town, with people spending that money, which is going to go back to people that need it. So I think it's a good idea, especially when we're giving $25,000 to illegal immigrants that come over here, and been giving them $10,000 worth of SNAP and EBT benefits.
Right.
I work, like I said earlier, I work hard for my money, and my taxes go everywhere. And $5,000 is a minuscule fraction of what I have paid into taxes since I was 14 years old.
Well, that's true, but I don't think it's going to work, because
I don't think it'll happen. I'm not holding my breath. I don't know. Happen.
I mean, it's an interesting idea, I guess, but I'm not sure what the legal authority they would have for sending that money back, because the reason that money's out there is because it was allocated by Congress. So Congress said so many billions of dollars allocated for this program, and I don't think that Trump, of his own authority, can just be like, just send it back to people. I don't think he can do that. So you'd actually have to get Congress to pass some sort of a refund, like oops, we messed up your we mishandled your money for 40 years refund.
40.
Well,
80.
Whatever. Yeah, a long time.
All right. I got a couple stories here for you this morning. I think you
Yeah.
might be interested in. Let's move on. Make me moderator,
We're-
and I'll
Yeah,
go through
yeah, I
some of
will.
these real
Do
quick.
Good's going to give us a rundown on the AFD and German MAGA or whatever they are. I don't know what they
Okay.
are, but he's going to do it on Discord. So go hang it on our Discord. Thank you.
Let's go through some stories that the media is not going to tell you about this week. UK government was busted in a secret plot to extract personal data from 2 billion iPhone users, is what this says. And there is a big, long article on this and a 40-minute video talking about this, explaining it if you want to watch it. Let's see. President Trump introduced Pfizer CEO at the White House recently, and he got booed into oblivion, is what it says, quote unquote. Booed into oblivion. Did you see this, JJ? Did we talk about this? Or did I talk about this with somebody
We
else?
did not talk about this. I saw this float across the news the other day. Veritas, who are traders, still post some good stuff sometimes. So this is from Project Veritas. What's going on here?
Project Veritas recently got this man in undercover video. His Travis Combs, branch chief, Department of Education, and yeah, it's bad. I mean, it's pretty bad. He talks. I mean, you can. Well, here, let's play this 3-minute video.
Let's watch it.
Yeah, here you go.
Department of Education operation exposed in
I
undercover
watched the
video.
whole video.
They're hiding this from Doge and Congress. Project Veritas released an undercover video of Travis Combs, branch chief for Applied Innovation and Improvement at the U.S. Department of Education, describing how the agency is hiding secrets from Congress and Doge by communicating on an encrypted app, Signal. Now, this video is 7 minutes long, but we're going to play you some of it.
Look, she's going to play
We
a little
encourage
bit.
everyone to watch it in full. Take a listen.
If they actually knew, Congress actually knew that we don't have that, there would be a lot of problems. Why? Because we would be like in a position of like being a sanctuary.
What he's talking about there is that the wording that they have used is he was asking, do people in education have to ask if you're a citizen? And he said that was, they took that wording out and they don't really say anything about it to let people forget. So if you forget to act, they don't bring your attention to it, but they took it out because, and then he goes into,
well, so they're pretending they don't ask the question, and then even though they know that there are non-citizens enrolling, getting benefits, getting grants, whatever, they're not putting it on any paperwork. They're just pretending it's not happening.
Yeah, and then he said that they were all because of the Doge people coming in and whatnot. They all have been instructed to talk to either via physical talking or
offline communications,
or they use this Signal app, which is he says similar to WhatsApp. It's a highly encrypted text messaging app that he talks about on here. So
I used to use Signal, but they messed up. I complained about it like a year and a half ago here. Nobody remembers.
The other one in this, here's this one. Let me bring up a different story on this. I'm not going to share it because it will freeze up everything because it's from the New York Post. But Diddy, let's talk about Diddy here real quick. Diddy's lawyer recently quit. He basically said when he quit, under no circumstances can I continue. So you would think that so this lawyer, his name is Anthony Rico. Does that name sound familiar to you? It should. He defended Osama bin Laden. The lawyer that defended Osama bin Laden has said, under no circumstances can I continue to defend Sean Combs, and quit. I'm not making any assumptions. I'm going to let you do that on your own. Let
me game this out a little bit. So Sean Combs is in prison, and they bring in the lawyer to talk to him. So they're in a little room across the table, and the lawyer's like, "Look, in order to do my job, you're gonna have to. I
got to know everything.
Tell me the things that are happening." And then Diddy was like, Give me some lawyer oil. Okay, let me tell you everything that happened. And at the end of that, he opened the door. The lawyer come out. His hair's white. He's gonna have nightmares.
He's got 6 lawyers, and Rico was one of them. And Rico said, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs. It is respectfully, but I regrettably requested that the court grant relief requested. The lawyer didn't elaborate on why he wanted to step down, but noted the decision came after speaking with Combs' legal counsel, Mark whoever. They suggest that it was brevity. The reason, I'm sure that's what it was. All right. Let's see. I don't think I've got anything else on this particular one. Girl Scout cookies are bad for you, supposedly now.
Bad. Full of chemicals. Bad.
Full of chemicals. Full of chemicals. So don't buy Girl Scout cookies. Wrong page. What other story did I have? Okay, here you go. JJ, I found this one yesterday. I thought, this is interesting. There is no question a criminal enterprise being run in the state of Arizona by the criminal Katie Hobbs. So this comes from Real Roberts. Let me share this. Let me share this. This is good. Investigation and prosecution by FBI and the DOJ is long overdue. Katie Hobbs is now being investigated for bribery, fraud, conspiracy, and racketeering. The chairman of the Joint Legislative Committee has informed Maricopa County's investigator that the Auditor General will assist in the investigation. This comes after the Arizona Republic detailed how state contractor Sunshine Residential Homes bribed Governor Katie Hobbs and Arizona Democrats with $400,000 and in returns got millions more in state money. In my capacity as chairman in the Joint Legislative Audit Committee, I want you to know that the Auditor General's office stands ready to partner with you in getting the facts about this troubling matter. I think it's funny that all these Democratic people, Democratic governors are getting their ass smacked.
Are you suggesting that the Democratic Secretary of State that certified her own election and victory in 2020 is not on the up and up? That's so crazy.
Well, additionally, Arizona state lawmakers are now investigating Katie Hobbs after $339 million disappeared as Hobbs' budget director also mysteriously resigns. Imagine my shock in the legislature was informed the state that has several insolvent agencies and requires $339 million bailout to close out the current fiscal year. Since your liaison's dedicated to briefing members of I'm not reading the rest of that crap. So there you go. There's that one. Katie Hobbs, our friend Katie.
Democrats are criminals. Or they're gay. Or both.
Or pedos. Let's see what else I got. Oh, that one's cool. You've got the DEI one.
I got some other stories. I want to bring this up. This is
this was a big story over the weekend. Go ahead.
I got the biggest story right here. It happened a few days ago, but we didn't get to talk about it.
The firings?
No. This right here, sir. Kentucky Fried Chicken is moving their headquarters from Kentucky to Texas.
Good.
So it's going to be
Bye. See you later.
Texas's Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Change the name to TFC?
No,
please?
It doesn't work.
We don't want that Kentucky. That's not a big thing for us.
You want to do something less embarrassing? You should have kept it and fixed it. Now it's ours.
It's not a big thing for us. Yeah, that's JJ
Texas,
said that, and I was like,
KFC.
Good. KFC's not even really good anymore.
You get some, you give some, you get some. So I just found out that Texas Roadhouse headquarters is in Kentucky.
I could go. That's me and Ashley's favorite restaurant is Texas Roadhouse. The rolls are, everybody's like, oh, the rolls are so good. The rolls are good, but their steaks are better. They're better cut steaks of anywhere else around here for some reason. They're just good. All right. The actual big article that I was talking about, the biggest story over the weekend that everybody's not really talking about, but I was trying to explain to Alex why this was such a big deal. Trump fires a chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and 2 other military officers. I've got a train. I've got a train coming. So
is this the one, the admiral? He fired an admiral that was the fleet commander. It was a woman, first ever female fleet admiral. Pete Hegseth fired her.
Yeah.
Who got fired?
This is Air Force General C.Q. Brown Jr. He was the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Hang on, let's just let this damn train. It's going slow too. It's not a fast one. I can feel it in my freaking feet. He's fixing to blow his horn right now. Watch. Yeah, he's listening to me, I guess. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. So they let him go. Brown's public support of Black Lives Matter after the police killing this is AP, after the police killing of George Floyd. Good God Almighty. Let me rephrase that for our internet dads viewers. Brown's public support of Black Lives Matter after George Floyd overdosed had made him fodder for the administration's wars against wokeism in the military. Right. So Trump said that he's nominating retired Air Force General Dan Raising Kane to be the next chairman. Kane is a career fighter pilot, and he's a 3-star general. So that's what they're getting with this with General Kane, is that he is not a 4-star general. So more Pentagon firings. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, in a statement praising both Kane and Brown, announced the firings of 2 additional senior officers: Chief of Naval Operations Admiral Lisa Franchetti and Vice Chief of Staff of the Air Force General Jim Sliff. Mm-hmm. So the fuck off, AP. So the hub, what do the Marines call it? Chatter. What do they call it in the military?
Yeah, hubbub. Sure, chatter.
There's another word for it. It'll come to me in a minute. Is that supposedly James O'Keefe, not too long ago, recorded undercover a guy that was the secretary to one of the Joint Chiefs. And supposedly on this video, this secretary told him that on January 15th, all of the Joint Chiefs, the highest people in the military, all went into the Pentagon to a special meeting room called the Tank, where it's bug-free. And they had a meeting about how they could overthrow Trump. The Trump administration. So supposedly this is James O'Keefe's video that has obviously just come out because they were talking about January the 15th, 5 days before Trump was in office. And then all of these major people get fired. And I was trying to explain to Alex, it's like, if you're the president, you're the head of the military. So the people under you are the head of each one of the specific militaries. He fired all those guys, basically. Those guys are the ones that are on notice. And that's a gigantic deal, in my opinion. I mean, that's a big thing. Getting rid of these people like this. That shows you that he probably knows a little bit more than is being shared with the public.
I'm real interested in this. So this is from last month. Top Pentagon advisor reveals on hidden camera. This is wild. I didn't hear this.
Yeah,
protect the people from Trump. Wow.
Protect people from Trump. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, wow. This is nuts. We should do like I should re-watch this, and then we could talk about it more tomorrow, because that's crazy.
KFC is one of the few things I didn't like about Kentucky. Not my type of food. KFC is not good, man. It's just never been good. The only reason we eat is because we're like, Kentucky, the biscuits and the mashed potatoes and gravy. Okay, so let me give you some news that you're probably not getting anywhere else.
Okay.
Mitch McConnell has a potential replacement that they are talking about. Nate Morris. Turtle. Nate Morris. And this guy that I follow here, Kentucky Statesman, is researching Mr. Morris. Morris is a member of the Council on Foreign Relations.
Great.
Awesome. Oh, great.
Can you guys do any better than this over there?
Jeez.
What are you doing over there? You elect.
Well, if you're wanting to get somebody to exactly replace Mitch McConnell, that sounds like a good choice.
It right there. What you guys 99% red, and you elect a Democrat governor, and you keep reelecting McConnell for like the last 147 years, and now you're going to put another CFR guy in there.
All right, one more thing, and then I've got a cool story, but you've got a crazy story. I want to read to
Okay.
you something that Representative Clay Higgins, he is, I think he's Louisiana District 3, Louisiana District 3, in the House of Representatives. And this is what he recently said, and I loved this. All right. He says, I'm going to read this. I'm a compassionate man. I know loss and struggle. I understand financial hardship. I know what it is to face eviction. I know hunger. I've lived through despair. So, to the scores of thousands of federal government employees who are facing unemployment because your elected officials have, for decades, governed the federal bureaucracies into corrupt, bloated, weaponized devourers of America's treasures and oppressors of America's freedom, I say to you that I feel your pain and I wish you well. But your job was no more important than the carpenter, machinist, welder, cop, trucker, warehouse worker, salesman, the waitress, the heavy equipment operator, every American who lives down the street from you whose job has not been insulated from the real world. Our federal government bureaucracies are literally cannibalizing our nation, eating our children's future. MAGA Republicans are going to bring our federal government back into sustainability. If you've lost your job, I'm sorry for your struggle. Pick yourself up. All of us will give you a hand. We're all Americans. Join us in saving our republic, our beloved republic. And I was like, wow, that's exactly right. Sorry
That's
that you
good.
lost your job, but you only had your job because we've been wasting money for 50 years, 60
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. One day radio is going to be obsolete and I'm not going to have a reason for my job.
know-
It's close now.
Yeah, that's true. There's going to be a day when there's no radio.
A buddy of mine, a very
Or it'll
smart
be- or-
entrepreneurial buddy of mine, me and him had a conversation about that very topic one day. And he said, I'm trying to think of a way to utilize the radio frequencies. When radio frequencies are gone and there's no use for thousands of radio stations across America, there's going to be a lot of unused frequencies. So he was talking about how to set it up to, I'm not going to talk to you about what he's going to set it up with something really cool. And I was like, dude, that is freaking good. And he was like, this could be a whole government thing to help the whole United States. And I was like, that's a freaking great idea. So yeah, we've had this conversation. All right, let's listen to your crazy story, and then I got something fun for
All
you.
right. Did we talk about No. So we talked about
the DEI thing.
the U.S. education DEI thing. So the Department of Education, you kind of talked about it a minute ago. The Department of Education is now determining that race-based decisions in education, so letting in fewer people because they're Asian and they're too smart, or more people because they're black and I don't know what to tell you about that. Apparently, making decisions like that based on people's race is now considered a violation of the law of the civil rights, which to some of us,
Wow, who would ever thought?
I was told we don't make decisions based on people's skin color my whole life. When I was in school.
When JJ and I were kids, we were basically told without being told that we were scummy white people and we need to love everyone.
No, you know what? Yeah, no, I wasn't even told. I wasn't even told white was bad.
I was.
I wasn't.
I grew up in and my county has been historically known to be an all-white county. There's like 99% of the population of my county is white. And I've been called a racist my entire life.
Okay, hold on. Let me time out the story. Let's talk about that for a second. When you were a young man and 99% of your county was white, how much of the conversation of your county, how often did the topic come up? Hey, we're white. White. Did it ever come up?
Never.
Oh, right. Exactly. Because it didn't matter. And it wasn't supposed to matter. It's not supposed to matter. The race-based hiring, admissions, and scholarships are unlawful now. And any institution that does not comply, this is related to the story you were talking about, where they were undercover and they were like, we're supposed to be asking about citizenship. But we're not supposed to be asking about race and not supposed to be making decisions based on race. But surprise, surprise, education institutions have been doing race-based quotas for like ever. I don't know what the incentive structure is. There must be an incentive structure. It's got to be tied to grants they were getting from the federal government in some way, but they were reshaping the demographics of the students that went to their school, and not based on performance, not based on merit, but based on.
Remember, there was that superintendent in Atlanta that got in big trouble because she was, I don't remember what she was doing to the scores now, but she, for a lot of consecutive years, her schools were like the top scoring schools in Georgia or something. And she was a very rich woman because of it. And then come to find out she was doing something like really bad, manipulating the scores or picking certain kids and kicking out the dumb kids and stuff like that. It was, I mean, she was manipulating the system to get more grant money because of her scoring in the schools. And all these schools do that. All of them do it.
And they not only do that, they adjust the grades to effectively inflate performance, inflate grades. And
when we say inflate grades, they're not changing the grade in the book. They don't have a standard of grading like it should be. You know, oh, well, you tried, so I'm going to give you a C, even though you got it wrong. No, you got it wrong. X, you got an F. You got it wrong. Try again. Is how we
but they won't. Yeah, well, but they don't do that. What they do is they whatever the scores in, and then they come in, they look at the distribution of the scores for the class, and then they adjust the distribution to fit a normal curve. So they may move if the best student got a B, well, they may move the B up to an A, and reassign grades based on normal distribution. Yeah. So there's all kinds of things that happen. You got students that fail in school, forget to go to class, forget to do their work, forget this, they mess their stuff up. Oh, my cousin died, whatever, all of this stuff. And then those students go and they complain to the dean. They want an appeal of their grade, and if they fail, they may drop out. And if they drop out, that's less revenue for the school. So deans may sometimes be like, just pass this one kid. And then that kind of stuff happens all the way down the line. So, there's a certain standard of education that if you've never been to a higher education, you imagine all of these schools, they hold these high standards and they don't compromise. Well, maybe they compromise a little bit, maybe a little bit. The Department of Education will no longer allow educational entities to discriminate on the basis of race. That's such good news. Hey, I got some other news here. I'm not sure that you would call it good news, but it is definitely. I'll just jump into it. Connecticut man who killed an 8 victim granted conditional release from a psychiatric hospital. Tyree Smith has been granted conditional release from a psychiatric hospital after being found not guilty by reason of insanity for killing Angel Gonzalez in 2012 and eating part of Angel's brain and eyeball. Good job, Connecticut. Didn't we just talk 2 weeks ago about Connecticut being one of the top states in the country where people move into and then move out of right away because it's too expensive? You guys are not doing a good job selling your state right now.
Yeah, you northern states, you Yankees up there are not doing a good job of impressing the rest of the country right now. The Maine governor and her secretaries and stuff are like wow. This is great. Maine's going to secede from the union here soon.
Several Republican lawmakers and Gonzalez's family have expressed outrage and concern over Smith being released, fearing for public safety. So,
gross.
I don't understand. I'm not a criminal justice person. I don't know the best way to rehabilitate somebody. I'm not sure that the track of a murder to psychiatric hospital directly to public living is maybe the best way to go. Maybe psychiatric hospital, prison, maybe prison for a little while.
All right, gross. I got a better story.
All right. Sorry.
I'm not even gonna give you any context on this. I'm going to let you look and watch.
I love being surprised.
Splendor. That is exactly what you think it is.
What is that?
That is exactly what you think it is, JJ.
Is it a paraplegic with a jetpack? Because that would be pretty wild.
That is a Donald Trump Superman drone.
Oh, that pretty cool, actually. Why did they didn't have to put a Superman suit on it? They could have just left him in a regular suit.
The Superman suit looks so much better though with the cape. Oh, isn't that great?
That is kind of cool. Wow. Look at
Super Trump is here to save America.
Yeah.
Hello, citizens.
Hold on. They could one up it. They could fly the drone over government buildings, and they could have Donald Trump dropping pink slips as he was flying by.
It says you're fired.
Yeah, just raining pink slips.
Oh, isn't that great? That's great.
That's pretty good.
Thank you, Girthy B. These people.
Girthy B.
I think I got one more. Hang on, I got a secret story.
Right.
No, maybe not. Maybe not.
Let's see if there's anything else. So the Pope is critical. We talked about that. Germany's so the AFD. Duguid said that's a dangerous situation. Dangerous mix. I don't know. Oh my gosh, we didn't talk about this. So Elon Musk posted over the weekend that government employees are going to be getting a email this week that says, "Hey, tell us what you did last week."
Yeah.
So
and they're freaking out over it. That 5 bullet points on what you did last week, and you've got 2 days to turn it in, and everybody's freaking out about it. To be honest, you could say, I need 5 things you did last week and email it to me in 10 minutes. And I'm like, okay, here's 10 things that I did last week. Here's 10 things that I'm going to do different this week.
Yeah.
That's easy for me to do. I could easily list 5 things that is not a normal part of my job that I do every day that I did last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like 5 extra things?
5 extra things.
I'm not good at maintaining lists of stuff in my head. I always have to be like, for instance, like, do you know how, like, if you were to encounter vampires and you're like, oh my God, you just take a handful of rice, throw it on the ground, and they have to stop and count all the rice. If you want to have the same effect on me, you can ask any question like, what's your favorite movie? And then I'm like, oh shit. Okay. Let me think of every movie I've ever seen and start putting them in order.
Really? You do that when somebody asks you what your favorite movie is? No, like I've got 4
I'm like,
just poo, that pop up.
Well, and then I'm like, but it's the hierarchical part of it. It's the, like, they put make a list and put them in order. And I have to go through, like, is it Highlander?
Oh no, I use
Highlander.
I use one sentence to get me out of that. Andy, what's your top 3 favorite? What's your favorite movie? Well, it's hard to say favorite, but my top 5 favorite movies are
right. Yeah, but then
I don't have a favorite my favorite sci-fi movie is blank, and my favorite romance comedy is blank. But I'm not going to put, Love Actually and Predator, which are not them. They're just the first 2 movies that come to mind. I'm not going to put them on the same. My top 3 favorite movies. Now, what's your favorite romantic comedy? I really like Love Actually. That was a cute movie. I like that one. Do what?
Something About Mary?
That's a comedy.
Oh, it's a comedy.
That would be a comedy.
So I just can't. I can't just. It takes. What I'm saying is that
weird how your brain works.
My brain. I have to, like. Is there stuff I'm missing from my list that I should be considering? So when you ask me, like, what are the 10 things you did last week? I'm like, oh my God, let me think about last week. I don't even remember what I had for dinner 2 days ago.
Okay. So I'm really been getting into reading and studying about neurotypical brains and neurodivergent brains, because I think I have had a neurodivergent brain my entire life and just now finding out about all this crap.
Oh,
and that I've really been asking questions and stuff about, and this is very interesting to me that you do that, because I don't do that in my brain. Like, I don't have to be like, okay, what's my list and blah, blah, blah. That doesn't happen that way to me.
Have you ever thought about seeing a therapist? I was going to a therapist. I got fired.
You got fired from the service.
Yeah. No, I unpin. There we go. Try to be less German. Don't be less German. You're our favorite German. I don't understand why you would even say that.
That's great.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a bunch of government people that are going to forget to check their email, and they're going to be fired this week.
So when you read in your head, if you're reading silently, do you say the words in your head? Are you narrating it in your head?
I have internal monologue, if that's what you mean. I have internal.
Okay. All right.
Internal voice. I know some people don't have internal voice. I do.
No, they don't. That's what I was asking. Do you have that voice in your head that does that?
Sure. Yeah.
Like I'll have a voice in my head that tells me to do stuff. It's not like crazy demonic, but like, for example, this morning, I was doing something on the computer here. I was trying to get some stuff done, some work done. And I felt a nudge over here on my shoulder. Or over here. I felt a nudge on my shoulder because I was sitting on this computer and I felt a nudge, and it was a little dude standing up here, and he nudged me with his nose. And I said out loud, I said, "I can't right now, little buddy. I'm busy doing something." And then this voice in my head said, it's not like it said it. It was almost like a thought saying. And it said, "Little buddy, your work can wait. Little buddy's not always going to be here. Give him some love right now. This work can wait." Is what went through my head real quick. It was like a voice that said that. So I was like, oh.
And let me ask you, has it always been like that? Has it always been like that your whole life? Oh,
yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I mean, like I could make
It's only been recently that I've been trying to listen to it more. When it I look at it like this. If this is my soul, trying to steer me in the right direction, I look at it like video games. I am the player. I am seeing it in first person. My higher power, soul, spirit, whatever word you want to call it, could be looking at it in third person with the mini map up. And so he's trying to tell me, hey, up here 200 yards, you need to go left. And then I'm just driving down the road and I'm like, going through life.
So for me, those are two distinct voices. Those are very, very different voices. They're not the same.
They're not the same for me.
And I would say I have at least three. So I have one voice that's inside of my head that's like I'm talking to somebody. I'm like, I might say this, or I might say this to my wife. And then I'm like, don't say that, stupid.
I do that.
Don't. Yeah. They're like, you better not say that. You better say something else.
Yeah. That's me too.
That's self-preservation. And then there is like normal kind of like internal monologue of like, I'm going to do this, that, put things in order. I'm going to work on this project, that.
I don't have that.
Stuff, whatever. So I don't have
just
normal.
No, I don't have that. I need to do this and do this and do this and do this and do this. I don't have that. I have 7 million things always going. You can do this, or you can do this, or you can do this.
Oh, well, I want to get to this, but I'm going to go back to your thing. So, and then I have another voice that there is another voice that I think is like God. It is, and the reason why I say that is because those kind of instructions, thoughts, and knowledge feel entirely external to myself. That is, I know when I am supposed to do something, I usually kind of like, oh, I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to do this. It's a mission, a job, a task, or whatever. I'm supposed to do this, or I'm supposed to talk to somebody, or whatever, when I wouldn't normally do that. That is an external instruction that I get, and then I try to obey. I recognize that separately from the normal meanderings in my head.
Do too. Yeah, I agree with that.
Now, I will say this. I
don't think it's
separate, but not. Well, I mean, okay,
that's fine. Yeah,
because I've listened to that, and then like things have happened that have been like, well, that was not explainable otherwise. Like I should not have known to do that, or I should not have known to be there or not be there. So separate from that, there is the biomechanical function of men's and women's brains. I was talking to my wife about this weekend because we were probably arguing about something, and part of like how we think about things came up, and my wife is a woman, and women are great, but women have everything that they're thinking about entangled. Women's brains are a bowl of spaghetti, and every thought is different and related at the same time. My brain, probably it sounds like more so than yours, is a waffle. It's a waffle. It's compartmentalized. So when so we were arguing about something and then she asked me a different question, I'm like, oh, let me go to that compartment and talk about this. And I'm not thinking about any of the other stuff at all. And that really frustrates my wife quite a bit.
I think I'm a woman then, because my thoughts are kind of like how you described the bowl of spaghetti. I never really thought about it like that. I always thought about it like a firework. When a firework explodes, everything goes out in all these directions at the same time, and that's how I feel like all my thoughts are. This one's going here and here. And here and here and here.
There's a book about this called let me pull it over here. It's literally called Men Are Like Waffles, Women Are Like Spaghetti. Yeah. So
did you read that book? Is that how you describe?
No,
is that why you described yourself that way?
I probably picked it up at like a marriage conference that we went to at some point. Because a lot of times you go to a marriage conference, like, we don't look at things the same way. It's not that you're on a different team. It's that you don't process information at all the same way.
And that's fine. A lot of people don't. You know, a lot of people don't.
Right. But it's very important to understand that your spouse does not interact with the world at all the way you do. So if you are expecting, like, why can't you see things the way I see it? Literally can't.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I don't have anything else today. I got a Joe Rogan thing that I posted in general in our Discord server, talking about how what I've been saying for literally 25 years. I've said it on the show a dozen times in the past about how news media can't objectively report on pharmaceutical companies when pharmaceutical companies pay their salaries with all of the ad revenue that they're putting on the TV. Dan Rather is not going to get on and badmouth the company that's giving his company millions of dollars every year to play a commercial. And I've been saying that for 25 freaking years. And if you'll watch this Joe Rogan clip, he says the exact same thing on one of his recent podcasts. And I was like, I've been saying that for 25 years, man. I have seen it. I have been told not to read something and not to say this. I've been gotten onto because I badmouthed the company that was, was advertising with us.
I was thinking about this topic just like this morning or yesterday, and I will tell you why. I have been watching Hulu, and on Hulu, I have been watching Things We Do in Shadows, or whatever, the vampire show. You ever seen this show?
I think I've
Things
heard
We Do
of
in
it.
Shadows.
Is it English? Is it a British show?
It was, and then it was, and then they did an American adaptation on FX, and it is very vulgar and suggestive, so mature audiences only, but it's hilarious. And every 5 minutes, or like at least 4 times per 22-minute episode, there's a break, and I've learned more than I want to know about Wagozi, about whatever that other, like, too many pharmaceuticals, like, it's just like drugs, and like they'll do like a musical number, and then they'll tell you how you're going to get like diarrhea and all these other horrible conditions if you take this drug. Please ask your doctor.
My favorite line that they say in every one of them is, "Don't take if you're allergic."
Yeah.
How in the hell
am
I going to know if I'm allergic to it unless I take it?
If you knew you were allergic to it, why would you even consider taking it in the first place?
We have to always remember that the pharmaceutical company's main goal is to not cure you, because if they cure you, they're out of business. That's why Tums exists. Because basic science tells you that acids and bases do certain things. You learned that in elementary school. And that is what you're doing in your stomach every time you take a Tums. You're not solving the problem. You need to add more acid to your stomach.
It's talking about, okay, so
I'm telling you.
I was thinking about, I know. I was thinking about this because I was watching these commercials. I'm like, I'm sick of seeing these commercials. I'm not buying any of these drugs. I refuse to do it. I don't want it. So, But here's the moral conundrum. Can you be a free speech absolutist or a free speech near absolutist and also at the same time insist that government or somebody pass a law so that there's not drug commercials propping up all TV? Like I don't want to see any.
If you take away pharmaceutical revenue from
no TV.
media, television, and radio media, a lot of these companies are going to close their doors.
Yeah, I like this idea.
I'm telling you right now, they cancel these and pass a law. A lot of them are going to close their doors.
If I have to choose between a world where there are pharmaceutical commercials paying for entertaining TV, or a world where all TV stops because pharmaceutical commercials are not paying for it, but people can like and subscribe to rumble.com/internetdads. I think I might choose the latter.
And if Pfizer comes up to JJ and says, we're going to give you $10 million to advertise on your show, you can guarantee that JJ is going to say, hell yes, we're going to, and we're going to have a Pfizer.
Sure, take some money. I'll be like, I'm not telling you to buy this drug. I'm asking you to talk to your doctor. Find out what's right for you.
You should talk to your doctor.
Hilarious. Hey, it's time for us to do jokes. I'm not even ready.
I'm not ready for jokes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I got a good one for you. Who's liking my stuff on? I got into a Twitter war with a guy on the weekend, and his name is J.R. Van Hoos, and he is a Kentucky basketball Hall of Famer, and he's like a basketball local legend, and he's a crazy liberal. So I called a guy that personally knows him after we started this war. I was like, tell me about him. And he was like, the first things out of his mouth were he's a crazy liberal that lives on Twitter. That's all he does. And I'm like, oh, that's all I need to know. So he had said something dogging JD Vance about his hillbilly roots or something. And I was like, dude, you need to just shut up and stick to basketball. I said, this is what I think that started it. I said, why don't you stick to basketball? He was like, no, basketball is not my entire identity. I was like, dude, I grew up in Kentucky. Basketball is an official religion in Kentucky. And I have watched for almost 50 years every one of you damn basketball players get preferential treatment by every freaking body in the state. I'm surprised you don't have a damn car dealership with your name on it, because every other former basketball player in Kentucky does. I was like, so take your Mr. Basketball and take your Kentucky Colonel and your Kentucky History Teacher of the Year award and ask yourself, would you have gotten those if you weren't Mr. Basketball in Kentucky in the 90s? And then the only thing he could do was just say, but you followed me, because I followed him. He's like, but you followed me. He said it like 6 times. So I finally was like, dude, I read The Art of War. Of course I'm going to follow you. I would be an idiot not to. And then he posted something else, and I was like, he kept using the same GIF. So I poked at him about that. I was like, dude, seriously, get another GIF. I'm sick of seeing this one. So he posted a different GIF, and I was finally, the last thing I said was something like, he just pissed me off yesterday. I usually don't do this. And I was like, well,
you know what?
jocks can learn.
I just realized.
It just irritated me.
I went over to your Twitter page. I liked and reposted your little post. Okay.
Thank you.
And while I was over there, I realized that you are successful, and I am not on Twitter.
How am I successful?
Well, you have 942 followers, which is
those are about 800 of them are former MCOC people that followed me when I was on the podcast, because I was the loudmouth on the damn podcast. Actually, on the podcast, I think I was the lovable one. I'm trying to figure out my role in the podcast, and I thought I was like the brother of the podcast.
I successfully forget about that entirely.
You were the mean-ass father.
Was I?
I was the older brother that's like,
all right,
come on, mom and dad are fighting. Y'all can come to my room. We'll play video games.
I'm feeling pretty pretty much a failure right now, because I've only got 256 people behind me on X.
Oh, we need to fix that.
We can't fix it. I've been on X for like 12 years and nobody follows me. What am I supposed to do about that? I don't know.
You could post feet pictures.
I'm not gonna
I mean,
do
that's an
that.
option.
I want people to like me for me. What can I do
Well,
about
the
that?
feet, I mean, I would like him maybe. Like, dude, he's got a really
Delightful.
nice looking middle toe. I think I'm going to follow him. His
doing it.
pinky toe's not all janky like most
I
people.
feel like maybe people feel like they can't like relate to me. So maybe I should be more personable on.
No, please don't, because I
No,
like
do
you
that.
just the way you are. Me and you are not the same. You're not like everyone else, but you are like you're like me, and you're not like me, and that is
Yeah.
what is freaking
See-
awesome about you.
Mm.
I'm
We're-
serious.
We're
I
we're
try to
we're
tell
different,
people that you need to
but
remember.
not unrelated.
You need to remember
Yeah.
your weirdness, what you find flawed in you when you look in the mirror, because everybody does this and says, I don't like my teeth. I hate my teeth. I've got terrible teeth. They look janky. I hate them. I can't afford to get new teeth. They're like $50,000. I ain't get $50,000 to get new teeth. And Ashley's like, nobody even notices. I don't even know, blah, 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 blah. So the thing that you
Right.
don't like about yourself
Right.
is the thing that I and other people really like about you. That's what makes you unique. That's what I like, the fact that maybe your hair is a little different than anybody else, or maybe your ears stick out a little bit more, or maybe you've got a look. You see this?
I can't
it's on this side.
believe how
You see this mole?
absolutely positive you are being right now.
You see this mole on the side of
Yeah,
my
I
face?
see it. Yeah.
It used to not stick up.
Characteristic.
It used to not stick up. It was flat. And over the
Uh-huh.
years, it started to grow up. And I mean, it
Yeah.
sticks out a lot. And I talked to a dermatologist or whatever about getting it removed. And he's like, yeah, anytime you
Yeah.
want to get it removed, we can. When my girls were little, they
Yeah.
would reach up there and touch it and flick
Ooh.
it and play with it. So I'm not getting rid of it now. It's a
Oh.
part of me. I hate it, but
Yeah.
it's a part of me. It's what makes me different. You don't have one,
I-
and I've got
You
one.
are. Well, I actually can't see. You can't see it. I have a mole right here under my chin.
I got
can't see
another
it,
one right here.
So I'm just. You are shockingly positive and affirmative right now, and I'm like, wow. Now I'm thinking at the same time. I'm thinking like,
I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or an insult.
I'm astounded. I'm astounded by how supportive and positive you are right now.
I'm always think
So,
like that.
But then,
you know?
but I'm also thinking, I'm going back, I'm looking like you're being successful on social media and X, and I'm not. And
Look
like
at
I
the
would
shit
like
I
to be.
post.
Hold on, listen to this, because this is inside of my head. I would like to be more successful, but would that mean making a lot more friends on the internet? Do I want to have the extra stress of having more friends? I really don't want that. So,
Well, let me tell you
a lot of-
a benefit that I have found the answer to that is something that's happened my entire life. And in ADHD, these people have I can't remember what it's called, object permanence and people permanence or something like that. And it's basically, if I don't see an object every day, I completely forget about that object existing. And it's
Yeah.
the same way with people. If I don't have regular contact with certain people in my life, I like completely forget that they exist. It's always happened with me because I've had friends that I'm just kind of like, well, I haven't talked to them in like 6 years, but they're still my friends and I see them all the time in Walmart, it's kind of like, oh, I don't remember. It's weird to describe. It's weird to describe.
See, I wouldn't.
think that's the
do not
word.
consider myself somebody that has ADHD. I don't think so. I don't.
I don't think you do either.
But object permanence, that's definitely something like I completely forget about people if I don't have a reason to think about them.
I do too.
I think maybe I'm just not a good person, which is probably true. Hey, let's do jokes.
All right, let's do jokes.
What is the strongest days of the week? Do you have any idea? The strongest days?
No.
Well, it's pretty obvious, actually. Saturday and Sunday are the strongest days of the week.
Okay.
The other days are weekdays.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay. That was a good one.
That's
All right.
not-
No, it wasn't a good one. I'm just being nice. I got thrown out of my local park here recently for arranging all of the squirrels and mice and critters outside. Yeah. They and I was organizing them by height. And I got thrown out of the park. I guess they don't like critter sizing.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
okay.
bad. They didn't like me critter sizing.
All right. Goodbye.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teeth. Essay for a comment, he said no. Watch now, the internet dad show. Subscribe quick, the squid monster's on the way. Inspire with us tomorrow's news today. Oh yeah.
Bundesstaat. Bundesstrag.
Gesundheit.